Welcome to the Aceman, everybody. It's time to go behind the funny. This is Scott Higgins.
And this is Ace Aceto.
And thank you for joining us. Thank you for downloading us. Thank you for subscribing. We appreciate it so very much. And if you have a moment, please give us that 5-star written review wherever you download your podcast. It's a great way to help the podcast. If you want to help us out another way, tell a friend. We all learn about podcasts from our friends' recommendations, and that's a way you can help us out by recommending us to a friend.
And the last way, if you really enjoy the show, is to go to our Patreon page and become a patron. And that is at www.patreon.com/behindthefunny. And what that will get you, it's one simple giving level, $5 a month. That will get you a t-shirt or a mug, some sort of merchandise, as well as unlocking bonus content that only our patrons can access.
Thank you so much for supporting us. If you want to reach out, you got a question for us, you got a comment, anything, please send us an email at behindthefunnypod@gmail.com.
And now, enjoy the show.
Be careful. He's and Scott Higgins, both of them coked up out of their minds.
Listen to you. He's down in the basement. Yeah. Oh, I love that.
I think we should call this the Acement.
The Acement, yes.
Yeah, what do you think there, huh?
I like that. The Acement Studios.
Excuse me, I'm drinking beer. Hold on a second.
We usually drink bourbon on our end
Yeah,
when we
right.
do the podcast, so
That's all right.
feel free to enjoy yourself.
Yeah, exactly. You shoot an 8-ball if you want. We don't care, as long as it's good stories.
Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining us, and we are excited for this week. I know we say that every
do it. I know.
single week,
I know.
but this week is months in the making, and we'll get to it in a minute. But anyway, the Acement bar is slowly depleting down to just a few bottles left. But this week we're both partaking of something a little different. I am continuing with this new bottle that I brought in called Low Gap Straight Bourbon Whiskey. I can't even say it correctly. Straight Bourbon Whiskey out of California. Very good. And Ace.
I am still drinking the Genie
The
bottle.
I Dream of Genie whiskey.
Or as Scott says, doo-doo.
She was so hot.
Crazy hot. I still have a crush on her. She's 87 and I'd still do her.
Absolutely. Just for the story.
Willet Bourbon Whiskey comes in a Genie bottle. If you rub it, no hot Genie comes out of it, but we can hope maybe by the end of the night.
And Ace hasn't had dinner, so after a few of those, that bottle may end up in a weird place.
Yeah, you may end up looking like the Genie.
Keep drinking, my friend. Keep
Here's
drinking.
to Barbara Eden.
Cheers.
Yeah.
And I think tonight's episode is a great way to wind down what's been an awesome 2022 for us.
Yeah, so the way this happened was we did this thing through affiliate marketing where you go on and you find other podcasts that are similar to yours or that you like, and you kind of promote each other back and forth for like a month or a predetermined time.
Yeah, whatever you agree on.
But honestly, we became such fans of this show that we just kept talking about them, and they kept talking about us.
Yeah, we weren't even promoting them. We would just come on here and just say, hey, did you listen to last week's episode? Yeah, and we would just talk about these guys because we became real fans of their podcast.
Absolutely. And so they're a self-described group of morons, which I love because we're two
right
morons.
in our wheelhouse.
Yeah, exactly.
Right in our wheelhouse.
But they literally do a podcast all 80s and 90s, and if you have not listened, after this show, hopefully you will go back and listen to some of their shows because I've been listening to their back catalog. They literally interview like people from bands from the 90s. I mean, they had Art from Art Alexakis from Everclear? No, Everclear was the song.
Oh, that's
you know
right.
what I'm talking about. Art
Vandelay.
Art Vandelay. Yeah. Oh yeah, Jerry. Importing and exporting, mostly exporting. But no, they had Art from shit. What's the name of the band? Isn't it Everlong? Everclear?
Well, recently they had the lead singer from Toad the Wet Sprocket.
Toad the Wet Sprocket. They had the drummer from the Smithereens on.
Right.
So they
get some great guests.
They do shows with bands from the 90s, but then they do these this is why it's called the Mixtape Podcast, is because they do these episodes with like a mixtape of, okay, let's talk about the best 80s movie soundtracks.
The theme songs. I loved that. Was one of my favorites because I used to buy soundtracks to movies because back in the day they didn't have popular music.
No.
They'd have independent artists that would do you think about like the Karate Kid original movie.
Right.
That all of the songs on there were just these independent artists.
Exactly. And I never realized just why I knew Kenny Loggins so much.
Yes, because he was on every movie
He was
soundtrack.
literally the king of movie soundtracks in the 80s. Yeah. So we love these guys, and we've been so excited to have them on the show. So we're kind of doing a crossover episode. It might be a little bit of a longer show, but we wanted to talk to them about how they got together, how they got, how they all met each other, because some of them are childhood friends, but some of them met through other things. And then we wanted to kind of talk, because one of the things they've talked about on their show was wanting to talk about Woodstock 99, with the Netflix documentary that was on a couple of months ago that was released about Woodstock 99, and we've talked about it. My ex-wife and I were dating at the time, and
Ace
we went.
Barely escaped prosecution for what he did at Woodstock 99. So, the
statute of limitations is not up yet.
I thought it expired. I'm sorry.
It's got like another 3 months. So let's hold off on that. But we are so excited to have the following guys on from the Mixtape Podcast. So first, let's bring in Jason and Spank Dog. So
actually, Spanky's not here. It's me.
Spanky's not here. It's just Jason.
Spanky's not here. It's just me.
All right. Well, that's all right. We're not disappointed. That's all right. It's Jason from the Mixtape Podcast. We have Twisted Kid Matt. Say hi, Matt. We're going to bring you on, Big. I think you're on mute.
You're on
That's
mute,
par
Matt.
for the fucking course with this goddamn show. Every fucking time.
I was just going to say,
I love it.
Sign language is not going to work for the audio portion
That's all right.
of the podcast.
Here's what we love about you guys.
I had a nice little intro and everything. I was like, I'm glad to be joining you guys in the Ace.
Yeah, you fucked it up.
Yeah,
you fucked it up.
That's all right, man.
God damn it.
That's all right, because so Jason is on like a delay. When he talks, we hear him like 15 seconds after he talks. And then Matt was on mute. But here's the great thing. Kevin, or KC Masterpiece, is still off camera with this little cat icon wagging its tail, which is even better. So, but he's got this. There it is. All right. Oh, we're gonna love it. So Kevin is known for his slide whistle skills, and we all love that. And I will share this story with you. Yesterday, I went to Guitar Center trying to find a slide whistle so we could do dueling slide whistles. And believe it or not, they don't sell them at Guitar Center.
As shocking as that is, Casey,
that is bullshit.
As shocking as that is, it's not one of their top sellers at Guitar Center.
And I was going to
order
order
congressman. You really
you know what?
Exactly.
I should. And we almost knew a new congressman who could have gotten that shit done, but he lost. So we
because he was running on a slide whistle platform.
That's what it was.
And it just buried him with the local voters.
Yeah, he was trying to bring the slide whistle back. I actually almost ordered one on Amazon, but it would have come in next week, which wouldn't have done us much good. So. So listen, man, we want to welcome you guys to the podcast. We love, as you heard in the intro, we have become huge fans of your show. I laugh. I believe it. I know we're one of the 3 listeners. You guys are one of 4 or 5 listeners that we have. So it's great.
It's so funny. I'll be doing whatever during the day, and all of a sudden I'll get a text from Ace. Did you hear this week's podcast? Can you believe they're talking to this guy or they're talking about this every single week? So we've really grown to love it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna bring Jason Big. And I want to learn a little bit about how did you guys all get to know each other, even before the podcast? Because I'm guessing some of you were childhood friends, right?
By childhood, maybe by work.
Kevin and I have known each other for quite a while.
Yeah.
So it was you and Kevin first.
Yeah, it was actually it was another guy with Stu
actually
and
one of the other.
Jay. Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I knew Stu for a long time. We met back in high school, and we started doing a show many, many moons ago, back when no one knew what podcasting was. It wasn't. We kind of discovered it, and I'd always had like an audio video background, and really wanted to play more video, believe it or not, not audio. Play with it,
and yet I'm the one who edits the video. So.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Obviously,
right.
Kevin has no audio, video experience whatsoever.
No,
Just slide whistle skills.
that's what they pay me for.
Wait, you get
I'm
paid?
the Miles Davis of slide whistles.
Nice.
And by the way,
Satchel of the
that's
slide
on
whistle.
Amazon, just in case anybody needs to know.
Yes.
Send them a link for slide whistles.
It's going to be really
That link will
interesting.
be in the show notes. So
So you and Kevin met through, did you say work?
Yeah, we met through work, and it was like say close to, or maybe over
We met
20 years
through,
ago. Yeah, and
So-
It's been about
Go ahead.
2 years now. Yeah.
So when you guys started this podcast, how long have you been doing this podcast?
I would say close to 4 years.
4 years.
We're about to
Did
go
this
into
just
our 4th season.
awesome? So did this just grow out of natural conversations you guys were having about stuff from your past? Is that where this came from?
This was let's see, a combination of being stuck in our apartments during a pandemic, and also
Great
I
reason.
was, of course. I mean, that's like half the podcasts are around now, and I was just sitting at home with my slide whistle and just contemplating, what we can do as far as a show. And Jay and Stu, came up to me about, why don't we get the band back together and we start a show
actually tried
very
something
similar to our
different
first
first.
show. That's right, we did.
And we tried, it just wasn't working. And we decided to go back to more similar format and just sort of evolved, because we used to only do 80s. But that was many moons ago. Now you talk to 80s and people don't know what the kids today are like. What the hell are you talking about 80s?
Yeah, right.
And we
Well,
wanted
you
to
guys barely. No, I don't mean to insult, but you guys barely look old enough to really know the 80s.
Sucks, guys.
No,
That-
come
that-
on, because Ace and I graduated high school in the later 80s.
86.
Yeah, 87. So we grew up, in the 80s, and know the 80s music, the movies, everything like that. So that I love when you do, when you guys hint at the 80s stuff, but the 90s stuff, obviously,
Yeah,
we were in our 20s, so we really know that stuff.
yeah, I personally,
I'm the oldest
I don't know.
of this group right
Yeah,
here.
he's the oldest. I'm
How
the
old are you,
youngest.
Jason?
I am
Jason, how
46.
old are you? 46?
46.
All right, yeah.
So we're 54.
Damn, we look like shit.
No shit. I know.
Well,
that's
I
'cause
do
we
at
drink
least.
bourbon on every show.
Yeah, that
Doesn't help.
Hey, that's good living right there. Don't knock yourselves. That's good living.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. No, so what made you? So you guys did another show, or a couple of you, and Stu is Stew Dog, right?
We're gonna call him that now.
I've learned.
So, dog. Yes, Stu Dog.
I've learned
Stewie
that
Dog.
we got to come up with some cool ass nicknames.
Yeah,
We
I know.
fell into ours, man. Like that,
Yeah.
How did you? So
we did.
so how did you guys get into each one of your nicknames? So I'm gonna start with Twisted Kid Matt, because Twisted Kid is just a cool fucking name. And
I don't have
yeah.
one.
yeah,
well,
Jason is
you
just
would've-
Jay.
You would have, and this is the
Just-
story behind Twisted Kid Matt here. So a few years back, 2014, Jay and I actually did a different show. There's a whole series of shows that led to this show that we do now. But they were Jay, Stu, Kevin,
This is true.
a couple other guys were on a show called The Obscure 80s. And, that show was very long running. Again, early days of podcasting. It ended. And then Jay and I, after having met in person, we decided let's start our own show. and it was just talking about all the weird, fucked up movies that turned us into the weird, twisted kids we are today.
Okay.
And the show was called Twisted Kid Radio. It's very, very brief run show. I don't even know if you can find it anywhere, but I changed my screen name, all like Instagram, like social media, everything to Twisted Kid Matt. And Jay, I'm calling you out, was supposed to change to Twisted Kid Jay, and he never did. So
left you hanging.
My name just, and he just, look at him. He's just ducking out.
He
right
just
now
ducked. Where is he? Where'd he go? He's like, I don't know what you're talking
about. So he never changed it. So he would have a nickname, except he never stuck with it.
Okay.
And then I was just like, the show ended. I just decided to keep it. And it just, again, I had a previous nickname I've tried to bury as much as possible. And then Twisted Kid Matt has just kind of stuck with me. And now we do the Twisted Kid episodes on our newly launched YouTube channel.
Right. And so you said, Kevin and Jason knew each other for a longer time. How did you guys meet?
It was at a shitty job.
It all comes down to jobs
and drugs, ironically, because we were shipping drugs out of the country through different states.
Wow,
wow, you're going on record with that.
No wonder he has no video playing.
Yeah, right.
no one can identify
him. I don't want the government to know where I'm at.
Smartest man of everybody.
He's in some cave in Afghanistan.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's in the Afghani Kush right now.
I'm in Bin Laden's old place.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you're hanging out in Bin Laden's old place.
He's redecorating the cave right now.
Yeah, it's like an Airbnb now.
We'll call it the Airstrike B&B.
Exactly.
That's awesome. Oh, man. So that's how you guys got to know each other, was you were shipping drugs and started a podcast.
He was shipping to them.
Yeah. It was called Mule. It was called Drug Mule Radio.
Right.
And that was the moniker Jason was going to take.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Drug Mule Jason.
Drug Mule Jason.
Poor Jason, he's on such a delay, he can't even interject.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. We're just gonna talk about him the whole time.
Yeah, I'm just gonna talk about him.
Yeah, because by the time he responds, we'll be saying thank you, good night.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I love seeing his smile like 10 seconds
right.
later. Just like,
That's not fair.
That's awesome.
So if you haven't figured out, a lot of our show is just busting each other's balls.
Well, and
it's so much fun. Yeah.
And that's what, you know what I have to say this.
You guys live though. That's
I love how Kevin is like your he's almost like your racist meter. Like I was reading, dude, I'm going to tell you, the most recent one that I listened to was the Power Rangers episode.
Oh, God. I'm so glad there was one joke that never got made.
Dude, I don't know if you guys even heard the joke that Kevin made, because you guys were all talking, but when he ever started talking about, how come the white Power Ranger had all the powers, and then you guys started talking, he's like, and the black Power Ranger dance fought. That was it.
Exactly.
And then I don't know if you guys even heard it, but I almost spit my fucking drink out when he goes, what does he get his powers from drinking grape soda? I fucking lost it, dude. That was the funniest thing. Because you guys literally will go, Kevin, is that racist? And he's like, fuck yeah, it's racist.
I gotta represent, because Lord knows that our one or maybe two other black listeners might be listening to us, and I want to give them a voice. So, that's
that
how
was
I do it.
hilarious, man.
Yeah, and those one or two listeners right now are thinking, why is the black guy not being shown?
Yeah, right.
Why do they keep him hidden?
Racism.
Why are they only showing the white people on the screen?
Yeah, exactly. Great. Now we're going to get branded as racist because we're not showing the black dude. No.
Actually, he is on screen.
No, oh, come on. There's a wagging cat tail. No.
What, too soon?
Yeah, all right.
bring him
It's
to the
right
forefront.
there. There's a little icon
That's
of a
cool
wagging cat
right
tail.
there. That's what they're going to say about Casey Masterpiece.
That's right. That's right.
Cool.
No, but I
Casey's
do.
cat cat.
I love that because whenever they start going down like a pathway of, is this racist or not? They just go, Kevin, is this racist?
Yeah,
like he's the
meter.
racist meter. Yeah.
Well, there is a podcast
There's a
called
lot of
Is This
pressure on
Racist?
Yeah.
There is a
Hey,
podcast called that? Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God. No, that I almost spit my drink out in the car when I was listening to that. And you said the grape soda thing. I'm like, oh my God, that's brutal.
That's a brilliant line, though.
It was.
We did Obscure 80s for quite a while, and it was one of those things after Obscure 80s we kind of wanted to keep doing stuff and wanted to switch to video. Kevin and I did that for a while. We did have a segment on there called Ask a Black Dude, Ask a White Dude, and we would show up every week, each of us with 5 questions we didn't know what the other one was going to ask, and we had a couple awesome time. 2 of our favorites were Kevin one week saying, "Why do you all smell like bologna?" Which I didn't know we did. Brilliant. And then the best was one week I'm sitting there with my questions and we're asking in turn, and Kev says to me, why do you all have such small family reunions? And I said, oh my God, my next question is, why do you guys have such big family reunions? And it was just
wow.
It's
yeah, so
intertwined.
it was a lot of fun.
Right. Oh, that's awesome.
And then Kevin, for one of his family reunions, shows up to me and he says, "Hey Jay, I wanted to invite you to my family reunion white party." And I'm like, "What? Does that mean you have to bring your only white friend? Like, how does that work?"
Everyone in the family
he's
brings
like, yes,
one white friend.
Just one white friend. Some of them are just freaks too. Just, hey y'all, here's this troll. Look at him. Dance.
That's awesome.
But it's all love.
They just Kevin's family does it in style, man. They're an amazing family.
Yeah, they
And
do.
A white party, for those of you who are wondering, is a party where they all dress in white. That's literally what it is. And I've had the
Oh yeah, but you know what's funny? No, what's
started it.
No, what I'm saying is, but when someone says that to you for the first time, you're thinking, what the hell
It's a little
is that?
jarring.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
but
I
you know
know
what's
now.
you know
Yeah, of course.
But you know what's funny? I went on a cruise this summer, and there was a black family, like a huge black family that all dressed in white one night for the dinner. Like it was like one of the formal nights, but they looked so awesome because everyone, all the kids, all the parents,
Yeah, everyone was
the grandparents,
same.
they were all in like really cool white suits with like top hats and canes and shit like that.
yeah.
And it was cool. So now I can imagine.
put all of
I
us
guess
to
that's a
shame.
thing.
Yeah. And in mine, we went to a picnic area at a park and all stood in our quarters and ate fried chicken and talked about each other. So you can tell which one.
Which
Way
one
more
was more fun? Yeah, right.
Yeah,
And then when this
Oh.
got brought up on the show, I
Wonderful.
talked about how mine canceled the family reunion because gas prices were too high. that is very real too. That actually
I'm
happened.
sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure. So now, are all of you guys in Ohio?
No, Matt's
Nope.
over in
Just,
Missouri.
Matt is not. The rest of us are.
Okay.
I'm in Kansas City, so if
Kansas
you guys are ever
City,
coming
Missouri.
through, let's go get some barbecue.
Oh, listen, we
Ooh.
not that Missouri, because honestly, East Coast, we're idiots. Anything other than East Coast and West Coast, we don't know anything in the middle. So even to the point of
That's the stuff we fly over when we're going to the
Yeah,
West
yeah,
Coast, right?
that looks like a nice.
Trust
patch.
me, we're here in I'm specifically in the Kansas City area.
Okay.
And we see everybody's tours just going around us in a circle. The closest they come is like St. Louis most of the time.
Right.
That's like 6 hours away. I'm not making that drive.
And that's the thing, yeah. So I have friends that have lived in Kansas City, Missouri, but we've talked about, because we drink bourbon, we've talked about going to Kentucky and Tennessee and doing
we
like
can hook you up.
the bourbon
Do the
trail
bourbon tour.
and like literally find comics down there that will meet us at a like Buffalo Trace, and we'll do a podcast episode with a comic from that area, but it gives us an excuse to drink bourbon at the actual distillery.
In the
So-
motherland of
in the
bourbon.
motherland, yeah. So that's what we're
We're
trying to
right
do.
by it. We are right by it. It's,
Yeah,
Oh,
actually,
really?
there's a
and we
place
could
over
also,
in
if
Newport.
you're wine drinkers, we can hook you up there.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You want to join in? What were you saying, Kevin?
Well, I mean, if you could ever in the Cincinnati area, swing by, let's see, Newport, which is right across the river. There's this place called Party Source. It's just like a warehouse full of bourbon. And I'm sure you guys can just have a blast. And you guys are you guys from Boston?
Well, we're just south of Boston, so Rhode Island, which is like the armpit of New England. If you look at
basically
Cape Cod is here, and we're right here.
Well, we can hook you up. I mean, we got a Sam. Well, we are like Sam Adams, like one of their major facilities is here in the area. Plus, we got a Wahlburger, so you can,
he's doing all the New England staples. We got chowder.
And clam cakes.
He just like quickly Googled New England related.
We can't see him Googling all this shit.
Right. Dane Cook, Bill Burr.
Yeah, Dane Cook, Bill Burr.
Wahlburgers.
Next thing you know, he's going to be like, hey, you guys are wicked good.
Hate crime.
Hate crime.
Right.
Oh, man. Oh, that's awesome. So you guys have been on for 4 years. We love the show. It was like one of those deals where we're like, hey, I know we're promoting the show and they're promoting us, but I'm listening to this show and I really like it because, again, being a kid from the 80s and 90s and, I mean, I was in college in the 90s, but I love listening to you guys talk about it's like watching Netflix, toys that made us, movies that made us,
Yeah.
And when you guys, and I think, Jason, you can attest to this because you guys did a show on fake bands that were only in movies.
Yep.
Yes.
And I immediately listened to the whole episode and I kept waiting and waiting. And then I emailed Jason. I go, dude, you forgot Otis Day and the Nights from Animal House. But I know that might have been 79 and that you guys talk more 80s and 90s, right?
Yeah, we do.
We
some
would have
70s.
allowed it.
We mix the 70s in there. That's again, me being the oldest, I have some memories from the 70s. The rest of these guys, well, when Spanky's on, he's the oldest, so he has a few more.
Is he? Okay.
And since you don't see his lovely face, and you hear us talking about him, for Spanky, you want to take Tommy Chong and mash him together with, oh God, I forgot his name, guys. Help me out here.
Jerry Garcia.
Okay. Which is very similar. So,
Spanky. Yeah, and that's Spanky.
Oh my God.
And he's the oldest on the show, and then me, and then Kevin, and then Matt. Well, Stu when he's on here. So for those of you who don't know, Stu's the butt of every joke. He was born on April 1st. So
it's his own fault.
It is
his own fault.
We can't.
Oh my God. So it's so funny because Jason, I'm sure you've heard this before, but let me ask you this. Has anyone ever told you, because I said it to Scott, I go, man, that guy Jason, and especially because you guys do stuff from the 90s, and has anyone told you sound like Butthead from Beavis and Butthead sometimes? Oh, dude. Twisted Kid Matt's losing his shit. Dude, I swear to God, I'm
never going to be able to unhear that now.
I need you to, dude, I need you to just say this once. Shut up, Beavis.
Yeah, there it is. Oh, shut up, stupid.
I'll kick your ass, Beavis.
I was sick that time, so yeah, shut up, yeah.
This sucks more than anything's ever
Side
sucked
note,
before.
why have we not done a Beavis and Butthead episode?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That, by the way, that
especially
that's specifically how we come up with topics.
That's
is like,
what we do.
How come
Really?
we haven't done
How
that?
come we haven't done this? Yeah, that's what we
Yeah. Well, I've heard you guys do that on the show. You're like, how come we haven't done one of these shows? Because there's so much stuff. And let me know if you guys do a Beavis and Butthead. I'd be happy to come on. And
he's a Beavis and Butthead aficionado.
Oh my
There we
God.
go.
I remember
now.
going and see the Beavis and Butthead movie in the theater and just laughing my ass off at the stupid shit. Like they go to the Hoover Dam and it's like, excuse me, is this a goddamn?
Are you going to reenact the whole movie now?
I might. Yeah.
Actually,
we get on tangents.
Yeah, so do we.
Yeah, you know how it is.
Upstairs, I actually have the first issue of the Beavis and Butthead comic book.
Oh my God, are you serious?
That is awesome.
Yeah.
I have the
I was a
Beavis
big
and
fan.
Butthead official book right at the bookshelf right across from us right now. Yep.
Can you guys hold
Now,
on for
the
a
real
second?
question is,
Yeah.
how many singles do you guys have?
Hold on
I
for a
have
second.
many singles, and I have heard you guys talk about singles. And for those that don't know, for the behind the funny folks, single was a cassette tape.
Yep.
If you didn't want to buy the whole shitty album on cassette, you could actually just buy the cool single that was out with one B-side. It was like a 45 record in the 70s, but
Yes.
it was on cassette.
It's so funny that you say that because I just fixed the lighting in my attic. I have a full walk-in attic. And my daughter was up
Stop
there with
bragging.
me, and she was like, I like to rub my success in people's faces.
Hold on, I'm going to get some shit.
And my daughter was like, were you insane when you were younger? Because I just had all the very back wall was just rows and rows and rows of the big wooden cassette holders, and I had all the cassettes that I bought from the time I was a kid up until I stopped buying cassettes, and I used to put them in alphabetical order, and I had the ones that were full albums in some, and then the singles over here in other order and everything. And she goes,
Yep.
do you have any idea how many you have? And I go, yeah, there's approximately 578 altogether. And
Yeah.
she goes,
Here's
that's
an
not
exact
approximate, that's exact.
Yeah, 578.
And she's like, do you realize how much money you have here? I go,
Oh, yeah.
nothing. Cassettes are basically probably worthless.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Those
at
are
this point.
like
Because half of them I had to rewind them with a pencil in the wheel because they came
When
unwound.
we bought them, they were like $1.49 a piece. It's not
Exactly.
Right.
singles, man.
Exactly. Yeah, because you didn't. Because you'd go to your friend's house and you listen to the whole album and you're like,
Right.
every other song sucks. I just want the good song. It's
Yeah.
like who the hell bought the whole album of the Verve Pipe?
Well, they were upset when they did.
Right? No one bought the whole album. You bought the one song. We were freshmen. That's it.
It's like albums.
Well, the
Vinyl came back, but cassettes never did.
No.
And they never will either. But, people are getting vinyl again.
So I don't know if you could see this. I'm going to bring it to the camera, but this is the Beavis and Butthead MTV. This book sucks. The official
nice.
Beavis and Butthead book.
I like how he knew exactly where it was too.
Of course.
Oh,
I also found I also found some Atari tapes. If you want to talk 70s, I have the Fender.
Was that the 2600 or?
No, this is the 2600 OG, motherfucker.
Oh yeah,
Well,
old school.
Matt,
Asteroids.
you got the ET. There you go. Talk
Drop
about
it on
buried
you.
treasure.
Oh my God, that was an
got some,
awesome documentary too.
The ET game.
Oh my God,
This isn't fair. I can hold all kinds of shit up to the camera.
Oh yeah, he's got like
Dude.
stuff.
Hey,
He's
wait,
got,
wait,
like, a whole
wait. I
display.
think I think the delay's gone.
all of a sudden Jason's back.
Hey, thanks for turning the blender off. It worked.
What?
Nothing. I was kidding, man. It really wasn't a blender.
I was like, I thought your wife was upstairs with the
Saying, the
blender.
internet sucks. Yeah. So my
Since
whole
we're showing
room is
cool
full.
stuff.
Oh God.
Oh my God. Kermie.
Oh my God, you are my hero.
That was just a lot of blind boxes that I got over time.
Oh my God, yeah. Well, all right, I got one for you, but this is the 70s. Jason, you remember this?
Oh jeez.
He's like,
where's he going?
got to play him off while he goes find stuff. It's like, oh, nice. That's
Oh,
awesome.
Davy and Goliath. Oh, hell yeah.
Wow.
Those things used to
and
freak
while
me out
we're-
when I was a kid. I have all.
What the
Thinking
hell
about
is
freaking
that?
out.
That's from the
Sloth.
Goonies.
Sloth from the
That's
Goonies. right?
Sloth
Oh,
from the
that's
Goonies.
Sloth.
Yeah.
Not only do I have all the Goonies Funko,
Maybe. Move.
I have Nike, autographed by Sean Astin.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
awesome.
You can't prove it because
Oh.
his camera's not on right now, but whatever.
Yeah.
I don't care.
No.
You,
Yeah.
you got it
No.
signed by Samwise
Not only did I
Gamgee.
get to meet him-
Yep.
Yeah, I got to meet him. It was Kevin and I got to meet him actually.
Yep.
And it was,
At a Comic-Con?
No, he
No.
was giving a lecture. Oh, like it was at Miami University, which is like right up the road for us. So,
Yep. On
Really?
mental health.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
On
I
mental
showed up-
few really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I showed up with the Goonies Funko Pop, and we stuck around after everybody left, and a select few managed to get to talk really cool. And I mean,
that's
yeah,
awesome.
not geeking out, but I mean, Matt and I are also in the Monster Squad, so
Yep.
that's
I
official.
heard
That
That
happened.
damn club.
So,
Oh my
Andre Gower.
God. Not
I heard that
It's been
episode.
kind of
not
a dream.
geeking out. I'm geeking out
I
right
was
now.
I was a little old for Monster Squad,
No.
so but I
Oh.
did listen to
So
the
good.
I did listen to the episode and it was awesome. That's what's and that's what's cool is you guys, when you listen to your show, you guys are just all about reliving that really cool era of the 80s and 90s and everything about it. And it, for 80s and 90s kids, it really brings it brings up a lot of great memories.
It's what we talk about with our guests a lot. Really, it's just we have such shitty lives. We want to do something fun. And we just
plus a present sucks, so why not?
Yeah, well, we know that. Yeah, right. I know. But you know what's funny? In 20 years from now, there are going to be kids doing podcasts talking about, remember how great it was back in 2022?
No, there's not. No, there's not.
Yeah, there will.
You remember when everyone got sick and died for no reason?
Remember when we were locked in our houses for 2 years?
Remember when there was 3 billion people on the planet, not 100,000? That was great.
God, it's like Thanos really came in and snapped.
Snapped his finger.
I didn't know Avengers was a documentary.
Yeah, right. I know. Who'd have known?
That's not fair. One of the biggest arguments my wife and I get into is she thinks Thanos was right. We argue all the time. I'm like,
oh my God, really?
He has a point. He had a point.
Yeah, he kind of does.
I mean,
he might not have gone about it the right way, but he had a point.
It's kind of Kanye-like right now. If you want to correct her real quick.
If we could pick who went out in that snap right about now.
Well, that's the thing. The problem is you got invested in characters that got snapped out. If you didn't know any of them, you'd be like, hey, wow, look, I got some stretch room.
Well, the good ones stayed in the movie.
You're like, not Howard the Duck.
Hey, don't diss Howard the Duck.
I love Howard the Duck.
That was a classic movie. I loved that movie.
Yeah,
we can't wait to talk about that one on the show.
That I know. I was going to say that's got to be a twist.
Come on,
episode, right?
Oh yes,
Marty's mom in her underwear in front of Howard the Duck. That was a great scene from my youth.
Duck boobs.
Yes, thank you.
Boobs. Yeah. Actually, it's funny.
We like to call that one awkward boner of the movie.
Awkward boner of the movie.
That's when you had your tub of popcorn on your lap.
Yeah, exactly.
It's even better when you can't see it happening.
Kevin. I know, right? It just comes out of nowhere. And you know what's great about
just
Kevin?
Like your boner.
He doesn't overuse it. He knows exactly where to
His
interject
timing is perfect.
Exactly.
All timing,
That's so awesome.
Fellas, this slide whistle.
I got America through some dark times. You guys a great slide whistle story.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So I got married back in May, and
God damn it!
How is that a slide whistle
my wedding?
Story?
And I did not know. And no fucking clue. I'm standing up front. He was our flower dude, so he was throwing flower. He pulls out the freaking slide whistle as he's and just there he goes as he's coming down.
That's awesome.
And I pulled it out very similar to.
And I'm standing up front
in Batman.
I'm trying out his
pants. Slide whistle.
I have a photo of this happening, by the way.
Oh, that's awesome. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Send it to us. We'll put it in the show notes.
If I'm not mistaken, he might have even jumped and clicked his heels together when he did it.
I think I did.
Oh, there you go.
Like a leprechaun.
Yes.
Okay. You got
throwing me flowers down the aisle.
Yeah.
There's a chocolate leprechaun.
That's right. We Irish are the blacks of Europe.
I think we have a new nickname for Kevin. Instead of KC Masterpiece, it's Chocolate Leprechaun.
Oh yes,
That's
he has
only on
more
St.
nicknames than
Patty's Day.
anybody.
Really?
He's in my phone. Yeah, he's in my phone as
AKA
Kevin
only
number
on St.
2. Let's see what else. Erotica Rose.
Erotica Rose.
Another thing. Yeah.
Sylvester Fuentes has been bandied about a few times.
Sylvester
a long time ago. I go by many names.
That way the government can't find you.
That's right.
Exactly.
He's a smart man.
Next time we have him on, he'll be on camera, but he'll have a black dot in front of his face, and he'll have like the speech,
like I'm in the mafia. Just
like you're in the mafia.
Kevin Casey Masterpiece.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Instead of saying Casey Masterpiece, he'll just say Witness Protection Program.
Yeah, right.
and a weird
once
muted,
in a while he leans over face.
Yeah.
a weird muted slide whistle.
Yeah. Muted. Oh my god.
That slide whistle has been both the source of so much irritation and enjoyment at the same time.
Right?
It's like, oh god, again with the slide whistle, and then it happens, and again you're like, it went one again and became funny again.
But that's the thing.
Yeah. That is
you know what?
An old school comedy thing is that you do it once, you get a laugh. You do it again, and people are like, all right, I get it. You do it a third time, now they're a little irritated, but you keep doing it, and all of a sudden it becomes even funnier than it was that first time.
But what I like,
I got like a bandolier of slide whistles.
He's not kidding either. He's not kidding.
I don't play around.
No, but what I love about it is you don't overuse it. You know exactly when to interject it, and it's not overused, so you don't get sick of it because it just comes in at the right possible
to
time.
the audience, no, I'm talking about those guys that are on the
those
show.
Guys are probably pissed
They're like,
off.
all right, we get it, we get it.
Every time. We're live, right? We're live.
Yeah, we're live.
Should we break news now?
Go for it, dude.
Go ahead. We got late breaking news from the Mixtape Podcast.
We've been teasing for weeks.
Kind of tweaking the nipples of the end, if you will.
We did.
Oh, I like having my nipples tweaked.
I like them too.
We joke a lot on this show about having a vision board, and if anybody, if you do listen to our show on a regular basis, what you know is we ask certain questions of every guest we have on, and the biggest question is, have you ever had any interaction with Weird Al?
Weird Al, yes.
So we do not have Weird Al on the show. However,
damn.
I was getting excited when
I
he
got
said
excited.
that.
I was like, I've been wanting to reach out to him too.
Jim Chemo West is on our show. He has been the guitar player for Weird Al for 31 years.
Oh, that's awesome.
Wow.
Every album except for the first album. So we got to talk to him recently, and that'll be our last show for the season.
That's awesome.
We're closing out with some good ones, man. We're going to have you guys on, and then we're closing out with him for a couple of weeks, and we were very excited. And it this whole joke, Matt's like, "Oh my God, our vision board's actually coming true."
We've manifested it.
Like we need to have a real vision board with a picture of Weird Al in the center.
We need to have telling catchers everywhere.
Out to different guests.
Anybody on Etsy who makes vision boards for people, let us know.
But listen, that shit works. I mean, we've got a vision board right up in front of us. We've had.
I want to see this. I want to see it.
Well, we've had some people on there who. There's a couple of them. We've got Doug Stanhope on there, who I've reached out to, and Doug was literally like, "Okay, you ready to go now?" I'm like, "No, I want to schedule you." He goes, "No." Yeah. He goes, "I'm not really scheduling anything, but I'm doing like drop-ins where if someone's ready right now, I'll do it." So he goes, "Keep reaching out to me." So we've got him. We've got Ted Hayes and Julie Haggerty, because a friend of ours got in touch with a publicist who works with them, and we would love to have an airplane reunion on our podcast with them.
Awesome.
Damn. Bobby Kelly, guy that I worked with way back when, in the Dane Cook days. Bill Kirkenbauer, who was on
Growing Pains.
But then he had his own show called the
Coach.
Just the eight of us.
Just the eight of us.
I remember that.
He was the main character. He recently moved.
A spinoff of
it was a spinoff of Growing Pains.
He was the coach on Growing Pains, and then the spinoff was Just the Eight of Us.
So we're working on him. We're working on Bobcat Goldthwait because he's one of my favorites, and I know one of you guys does. Who does the Gilbert Gottfried impression?
Stewie.
And he's not on. Because I've been doing Gilbert Gottfried for years, and every time you guys say something about Stu, but I've never heard him do it on the podcast.
Yes, he does.
It's not a real impression.
It's not really good.
Oh my God.
That's all he says.
Because Ace does actual Gilbert. Give him some Gilbert.
Yes.
Oh my God, I wish I hadn't died this year, because it would be fantastic to be on this podcast.
Oh my
I
God.
love it.
Jay, should we reveal the plan?
Oh no,
it happened. It failed.
Let me.
What happened?
Awesome.
Wait. What happened?
So we were actually apparently working to get Gilbert on the show, before he passed away. And we also had been working on Judy Tenuta.
Before she passed away.
We just started talking to her as well. And
although we did get to talk with Rhonda Shear, though.
I know.
And you know what's funny is because when we were telling a story one time, Ace was talking about opening up and working with her back in the day, and like not even a day later I go, Ace, guess who they have on their podcast? He goes, who? And I'm like, Rhonda Shear is coming on their podcast from Up All Night, because he had opened up.
I got
that
to
show
open
was
up
on.
for her years ago, years and years ago, but yeah, we have them on the vision board. And then honestly, my biggest, and I've reached out to a couple of people that know him because he was a stand-up in Boston, but Tom Kenny, who is the voice of SpongeBob, is one of our vision board people as well. So, and recently I reached out to Johnny Brennan from the
Jerky Boys.
Hey, Jerky.
And he actually wrote back to me and said, thanks for the kind words. Send me some more information about your podcast. And I sent him a bunch of information, but it literally took him like 2.5 weeks to get back to me on the first one. So it's been about 2 weeks. So I'm going to give it another half a week before I reach out to him.
And never mind Jerky Boys, he's also Moitzel.
Well, and that's what I said. I said I want to talk about like the height of the Jerky Boys, you and Kamal. How you got on Family Guy, like all of that, and so we're hoping that in the new year we'll get Johnny Brennan on because that would be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, you guys spent a big chunk there talking about how much you've become fans of our show through how we met through the whole
the affiliate marketing
which is now that whole website is defunct now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's gone now. But you know what? It's
meet you guys off of it, and we've also become fans of your show, Matt and I.
Appreciate that.
On a regular, it's we'll constantly be at work, and one of us will text and be like, "Oh my god, did you just check out this episode they talked to?"
Thanks so much, man.
I screenshot like timestamps in the episode.
He does.
Oh my god! Oh, you got to check this one out.
Yeah. Do you check out Scott-tober when he makes me shit my pants all month long? That's fantastic. I fucking love that.
I don't know if you heard me say it on the show.
Yes.
Scott-tober, like I said, if you come to Kansas City, I want to go on a ghost hunt with you guys.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Scott-tober.
Well, I would
love to do that.
I went on my first actual one this year.
Yeah.
And we were lucky enough when we had the guys that took us on the ghost hunt, actual paranormal investigators, they brought in actual voice that they caught that night that we had.
I listened.
Yes.
And
they said the name Scott.
No, they did not.
Yes, they did.
They did not say the name Scott. Go fuck yourself. That's
awesome.
not what they said.
I'm standing in your corner.
It's Scott. Yes. And you know what's awesome? That house is 1 mile down the road from my house right now.
I have to drive by that place every time I go home after we record an episode.
But honestly, that'd be awesome if we got Ken DaCosta and the guys from Rise Up Paranormal to go out to Ohio to do
I would totally go out with those guys. And
we can show you
awesome.
quite a few places.
Really?
Jay, what was that place you mentioned?
Well, we're real close to Bobby Mackey's. That's over.
Yeah, Bobby Mackey's Music World. One of the most haunted
the
places
one that I said I didn't want to get possessed if I went there.
There's quite a few things over around here. Actually, Kevin, he does tours through Cincinnati.
Yeah.
As well. He gives people walking tours through the city. He's
really
quite a history buff, and he does a haunted tour as one of his tours. So he gets
good. Let me know how that turns out.
No, we will definitely. Well, you know what? Next summer we'll have to plan a week to go out there with Ken.
Yeah,
and then we'll do some investigations and we'll use them in Scott-tober. We'll have you guys on in Scott-tober.
That'd be awesome.
Oh yeah,
to talk about those.
That'll be great. I'll hold my breath for that. That's fantastic.
I need to travel to Cincinnati again.
That's fine. The only episode that Scott actually liked was, and you guys would love. Actually, I'll bet you he would go on their podcast.
David Naughton,
the guy from American Werewolf in London.
I have experience with David Naughton. Yeah.
He is an awesome guy. Had a
great
blast.
guest.
We had a blast. Honestly.
Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper.
Yes.
We had him on for American Werewolf in London, but because we're both, we were both prepubescent or pubescent boys, in 1982 when Hot Dog the movie came out, which was all about skiing and hot tubs and naked women.
We talked about that more than anything else.
We talked more about that than anything else. It was awesome.
Like, did you see Shaden Tweed naked in the hot tub? Were you around when they shot that scene?
Yeah. He told us, actually said, he goes, it's too bad someone didn't have a camera behind the scenes, because what would be even better than Hot Dog the movie was the making of Hot Dog the movie. It would have been an amazing documentary.
He said the entire cast every night after shooting would pile up into Jeeps and go into town and just party the entire night. And he goes, the shit that went on when we partied was way worse than anything you saw in the movie.
Exactly.
Yeah, he was awesome.
He was an awesome guest. Yeah, we definitely, if you guys want to get him on, we'll reach out to him for you.
Yeah. The same goes for Rhonda, man. If
I would love to get Rhonda on, because I don't know if she remembers me, but I'll bring up, I got the picture of me and her where she said, Ace, your aces. Thanks for opening up. And she was fantastic.
Yeah, because
she's a sweetheart.
Because she never signed anything for anybody else, so I'm sure she'll remember you.
Yeah, she'll remember me.
Yeah, you'd be surprised.
I have a picture with her. No one else,
that'll narrow it
no
down
one else
for
does. Yeah. All right. There goes my fucking childhood dreams.
Going back a little bit.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin.
KC nails it.
He's just sitting there
that makes up for Scottover right there.
That's going to be awesome. An EVP that pops up as just a random slide whistle in the back.
Yes. That'd be awesome.
I want to redo our intro music, and I want the slide whistle.
Yes, we will. For the new year, we'll have to bring the slide whistle on.
Make it happen, Kevin.
All right.
Yeah.
We will do that.
So going back
go ahead.
just a little bit to like how we met. So, relating to David Naughton as well. Jay, Kevin, Stu, all the other guys, they've known each other for years, and I was doing my own show back in the day, and we all kind of met at this one place. It's the Horror Hound Weekend Convention. It's all
I've heard you guys talk
related.
About it. All horror movie. It's like a convention, right?
Yeah, and I've actually, through a different convention that I actually work with, I've been around David Naughton quite a bit.
Oh,
so
cool.
So yeah,
awesome
he's
guy.
Kind of like guiding him around the convention floor and things like that. But that's actually where we met in person for the first time. Was where I met them, I should say.
Yeah.
But I traveled there,
I think it was.
And and I had gotten free tickets because I carved a bunch of pumpkins and like submitted it as a contest thing. And got free tickets to this thing. And I'm like, great, cool. Now I got to drive to fucking Indiana, I guess.
Yeah, right. Great.
And I'm glad I did, because
look what happened.
Not to like, kiss these guys' ass, but I met my best friends.
Yeah. It's weird.
Yeah.
It is weird for me to think that Matt lives so far away, because I talk to him like every fucking day.
Right.
Matt and I have like conversations constantly, and it's kind of weird to think that we don't really get to hang out very often.
Yeah.
Because we've all become like me and myself and Matt and Spanky and Kevin and I guess Stu. We've all become. I have known.
I wonder where he's at. He's like,
we should name this episode the Mixtape Guys. Fuck Stu.
the Mixtape Guys and Stu.
And Stu. Yeah.
We actually love Stewie. I met Stu
I'm
back
kidding.
in 1990. He's been a part, like, he's at every family gathering we have. His family doesn't live around here anymore, so he's at every family gathering. He's sort of been adopted by my family, so I pick on him like because we're like brothers. Actually, we're all
exactly.
That's awesome.
It's been,
but you know what? That's what, and that comes
brothers.
But that comes through on your podcast. You can tell you guys all like each other. You all get along, and I mean that's like Scott and I. I mean, we only met.
Editing.
We met 20 years ago. What did he say? What did you say?
The magic of editing.
Yes, right. Yeah, I know.
I don't know what editing is.
Yeah, no. Scott doesn't know what editing.
We don't go live.
We fuck up on a show, and someone will, like a guest, will say, "Oh, you can edit that out." I go, "No, he won't. Trust me. You can fucking. You'll hear this whole conversation on the show." No, but Scott and I met the same way. We were both doing comedy. I had been doing comedy for like 12 years. He started, And, you know, I mean, you could tell the story of how we met.
Yeah, I tried to hire Ace to do a show with me, not realizing what comedians are supposed to get paid, and tried to pay him about 1/10 of what that was because I had no idea. I was new to comedy.
Yeah.
And, you know, I had, talked to some other comedians, and most people are like, yeah, no, I'm busy that night. No, I'm busy that night. And then I was doing an open mic, and Ace came in, and he did the show, and I'm like, oh, my God, this guy's really funny. Let me see if he wants to do it. And he took me aside, and he said, hey, listen, normally this is what guys should get paid. And he sat down, and he kind of coached me. And I was like, well, at least he was cool about it. He explained it to me. And then I worked with him a few times afterwards, and we just kind of took a liking to each other, and we became friends. Yeah. And then when I really just wanted to do a podcast because I loved being in the green room with these more experienced comics and them telling me their backstories of why they did it and why they started and stuff like that. So I had the idea for the podcast, and I had Ace on like the 3rd episode.
Yeah.
And the two of us were like just two buddies hanging out, shooting the shit, telling stories. And it was so comfortable and such a good episode that like 2 weeks later, he said to me, hey, you doing the podcast tonight? You want me to come hang out? And he came and hang out. And that episode, I forgot who the guest was. It just worked having two people.
Well, and then the other thing was because he was interviewing other comics about their career, I was like, hey, why don't you do an episode where someone interviews you about your career?
Yes.
And we called it Turn the
Tables.
And that was kind of the beginning. And then I kind of weaseled my way on as the co-host. And then...
And it just worked. The chemistry worked.
Yeah.
And, we've been doing it now. We're in April, we'll start 6 years, that we've been doing it. And we just love doing it.
That's kind of the beauty of it, right? It either you can't force one. We've tried to force shows. They just don't work. The only ones that work are the ones where the chemistry's there and we're having fun with the topic we're talking about. And those make the best shows too. That's the ones everybody wants to listen to.
Well, there's a couple unaired episodes because of that.
but it's like you said,
episodes do not work.
Yeah, but it's like you said, you guys had done other types of podcasts where they were short-lived, but all of you guys together kind of gelled. And and again, it seems like Matt and Kevin and you, Jason, are always on, and then Spanky's on sometimes, and Stu's on sometimes, but every time, whether it's just the 3 of you or 2 of you or 5 of you, it always works because you all genuinely like each other and all get along. And there's a chemistry there. And that's like with Scott and I. And there have been some guests. I mean, we've talked about it. There were some guests where we've talked to them and it's like pulling teeth trying to get...
Oh, my God. You're prying
answers out of them. And then some of them, it's like, holy shit, that was a 2-hour episode and it didn't feel like it. And
then there are episodes where Ace says completely inappropriate things, and I die laughing for about a half an hour afterwards.
And he has to edit an hour out.
And our guests are looking at us like, what just happened? And I have to edit that out. And I have saved all of those clips that I've edited out of Ace saying the completely wrong thing, and I send them to him. And I go, too bad we can't play this because it is completely wrong.
Maybe someday
we'll do funniest shit I have ever heard in my entire life.
Maybe someday we'll do an inappropriate parental guidance for explicit episode.
Well, there was one time a couple of years ago we had a guy on who
he started it, not me.
No, he did not. He lost the use of his legs at a very young age.
No, I started that one. So he had meningitis. No,
he had meningitis as a child, and he lost use of his legs. So when he goes on stage, he has to use a walker, and he slides up on stage and everything. And I'm asking an honest question to this kid. I go, so you started comedy, you have this handicap. I mean, what are some of the major challenges that you face trying to do comedy? And Ace goes, other than stairs. And
And he said
I'm
it.
sorry, but to use a sad slide whistle.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
The sad slide whistle.
Yeah.
But Ace said it so straight and so like an honest question that it hit me so funny. I couldn't stop laughing.
But you know what? The guest laughed too.
Yes.
So we kept that one in.
Well, the guy does.
Give that one in.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. We kept that one in. Yeah.
And
no, there was another one.
And the helmet, too.
The helmet one will never be heard on air. We'll send you guys the clip so you can hear it.
I can say
it'll never be heard on air.
I can email you guys some clips that literally make you piss your pants. But if we ever played them, podcast over.
Yeah, we
would be shut down because they are awful.
This is the problem with when you're very comfortable with the people.
Yes, exactly. And when you drink bourbon on your podcast and you get very
more
comfortable. Yeah.
What you can joke about with your friends, maybe you don't. And we had to learn. Actually,
yes,
our show has evolved.
Yes,
big time from where it started. Because
Kevin, that sounded like it had some backstory.
Our first seasons, I mean, it's out there, it's rougher. There's
very
an episode,
explicit.
I still have it. I have the arcade episode. It's just never gone up. And
you need to send it to us. We want to hear it.
Yeah,
I
wasn't on the show yet.
It's pretty rough because here's the thing. All right,
Kevin and I got drunk.
Me and drunk
before
off
it
our
started.
ass. And Jay's
Before
the
it
one
started.
who's operating the whole thing, and I'm just hired help, kind of in the background. And this was before slide whistle time, so
it was pre-slide whistle.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, at one point I get up in the middle of the show. I'm like I gotta take a piss. You guys keep talking. And they don't, but I'm yelling at them from the bathroom in the other room, like screaming at them that I can hear what they're saying. I don't know what the fuck they were saying. I have no idea what they were saying. And it's all in there. And I've tried to edit it down to something usable, and I'm like, there's nothing usable.
It's not going to work. Yeah, right. I know that feeling. Listen, we had
we've had
Scott. Scott was on vacation one week, and we had Rob Bartlett on from the Imus in the Morning show. I don't know if you remember Rob Bartlett. He used to do all the characters and impressions. And we had been on for like 2.5 hours. I mean, he was a great storyteller. He had a lot of stories, but I had to pee so bad in the middle of it that I was like, Rob, I'm so sorry, I gotta pee. And I left. He got so pissed off that he was like, all right, fuck this, show's over. And he got off, and I came back from the bathroom, and Tom, our co-host, was like, he left. I don't know what happened. He got pissed off and he left. And then he actually emailed me after. He was like, hey, man, had a great time on the show. Was just busting your balls. That's why I got off. But
he
it was
like king of the ball. But he's
that's fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's just one of those guys.
It was awesome. Oh, my God. I'm just looking. We have a...
We got some comments?
We got some comments. So...
that may have been from earlier.
They're like, can you please stop?
They were from definitely earlier. So
any of them saying I sound like Butthead.
No. Oh, actually, the third one down. No, I'm kidding. It says, I remember when I was in elementary school, I dropped an entire sandwich on the floor, but I was like 5-second rule, ate it. God, I don't know what that means. Cross 2986.
Stewie comment.
Got so. Oh, that's Stewie.
No, I don't know.
Oh,
and I dropped my sandwich.
Okay. I dropped my sandwich.
What?
Do we have any wheat thins?
What are you talking about there, Stewie?
I don't know what you're talking about. Say wheat.
What?
Wheat.
I said
thins.
Thins. I said wheat. Why are you talking like that?
I don't know what you're talking about.
What you talking about, Willis?
Yeah, what you talking about, Willis? No, then he says, nice. You guys should have you should have let him stay muted and see how long it went. I don't know who crossed 2986 is, but I think it's one of your fans. And then I don't know who this is. Hi, I want to offer a promotion of your channel view. Oh, this fucking spam. Fuck them.
Send that over.
Fuck them. Oh, Twisted Kid Matt. Matt, thanks. He sent it in a private chat. It was Everclear. Because I fucked up.
Were arguing about it.
Oh, thank you.
It was stuttering like
I was stuttering.
Hey, you dumb stuttering prick. I was stuttering like a prick.
All right.
Spider, you stuttering prick.
Fuck them.
You see
anyway.
what happens with us. We every single. It doesn't matter how much we up our gear, how much we practice. We will get together on a Saturday for 10 minutes and be like, all right, we're ready to go. We can do the show. We get on the next day and fuck everything up. So we are
exactly.
without fail. So it wasn't.
Well, I love it. I love when you guys fuck up a line and play stroke, like you said it earlier before, Matt. You play stroke. I love that because we do it all the time. I'm like, I need to lift that. I need to lift the stroke.
So that's legit.
Thing.
That's because even though I talk a lot, I trip over my own fucking words. And Stewie started calling me out way early and saying I had a stroke in my mouth. I stroked my mouth. And that's where that whole fucking thing comes from. The guys love catching me in it. They think it's the best thing in the world. And I have to go with it.
Of course.
Well, Jason, let me explain something to you with comedians. We love when we're at shows and one of our friends is on stage bombing. And just
we love
eating his own dick in front of an audience. We sit in the back of the room and laugh our asses off.
We love them. We're still friends with them.
Oh, no.
We love busting their balls.
If Ace is on stage, we're doing a show together tomorrow night. If he goes up after me and he is bombing and doing terrible, it won't happen. But I've never really seen you bomb.
No.
Never. But if you did, I would love every living second of it. Know. And I would, when you got off stage, I'd be crying tears of absolute delight watching you eat your own ass up there for a half an hour.
That's what we do.
It would be fantastic.
That's what
it would be great.
Do. I know.
We did a show one night. We showed. Yeah, exactly. That's what friends do. We did a show one night. It was an open mic where we showed up to do a spot with a bunch of the new kids.
Right.
See what the new
kid. Dick. I gotta piss.
Oh, figures.
So I'm gonna go pee.
I'll
be right back.
Mr. Hummingbird Bladder.
I will be back. All right.
That's
Mr. Hummingbird Bladder.
You fucking threw me under the bus.
So we're doing this open mic night, bunch of new kids, and then here's him and I and a friend of ours, Rhonda, these veterans. And what they did is they would put a few of the new kids and then one of us, a few of the new kids. And I go and look at the list, and Ace is the first of the three of us that are going on. And I said to the guy running the show, I said, listen, Ace is probably not going to get here till the show started. So if you get up to him and he's not here, just throw me on. Put him on later. And the guy goes, yeah, no problem. So the show starts. They put the three new guys on. It's Ace's turn. Ace is walking in the door as the guy's getting ready to bring him on. Now, the smart thing to do is to bring me on or bring Rhonda on. No, the guy sees him walking in the door and goes, all right, our next guy just walked in, so I'm going to bring him to the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, you know him from the Rhode Island Comedy Hall of Fame. Ladies and gentlemen, Ace Aceto. He's had no time to survey the room, prepare himself mentally, nothing, just walk right on stage and get to it. Rhonda and I are in the back of the room like, we're not saving you, buddy. We crossed our arms. Go get him, pal.
Like,
and
we already offered. He didn't take us up on it.
And we're not going to save you either. Go ahead and eat your own ass. And he went up there, and for the first 30 seconds, you could see him scrambling in his head, like, where do I start? Where do I get this going? But the fucking guy's been doing it for so long. He was able to save it, get right into it, get them going, making them laugh. And I was like, son of a bitch. Ron and I were disappointed that he actually did well. We're like, son of a bitch.
That's true friendship.
He actually pulled this off.
Yeah, I got to
all I'm saying
a little
is
bit
if he's going to keep fucking leaving to go to the bathroom,
I'm sorry, man.
He's got the bladder of a hummingbird.
I can't help it.
You need to invest in a good pee jug.
I know.
Oh, there you go.
No, you know what it is? I gotta invest.
He works in medical sales. He works in medical sales. He could get one of those jugs to put underneath our table here.
I know. I should invest in a basement bathroom is what I need to do. But
same here, man. Same here.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
So
I
going back to that story you had, Scott. So something you may or may not have noticed on the past few episodes, throwing people straight up under the bus. Every time we start a show now, Jay likes to just change the way he says hello. and he'll
Scott
just be
does
like,
that too.
"Hola!"
Completely.
We're like, okay, I guess this is how we're doing it now. And then we just have to
Completely threw
go
us
with whatever he starts.
Yeah.
It really throws Matt off. Bad.
Yes, it does.
I don't know why
And-
that is, but it
And
does.
because we have an order that we say each other's names. You know,
Yes.
like Jay, Kevin, Matt.
Yep.
And I'm used to just like, hey, welcome to the Mixtape Podcast. I'm Jay. And instead it's hola, bienvenue. And this whole fucking tangent.
Bienvenidos. Dobi resta.
You guys wanna hear
Menyam
the
samut.
nerdiest fucking part of that? I write that shit out in show notes, so I know it's coming.
Yeah, right.
I'm gonna write it this fucking week. We're gonna be ready for this. So
Well, it happens all the time with us because we go live on Facebook, and sometimes I'll forget to take us out because in order, we have that little montage at the beginning with the theme music and the slideshow, and so sometimes if you don't take yourself out of the studio, you'll see us, and then one of the episodes you
My
hear
favorite.
me say, "Oh shit," because I forgot to take us out. So you hear me say, "Oh shit," and then you hear bam, 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 and the theme music, and I'm like, "Oh shit, I look like an idiot." But
And so when I released the audio,
he keeps it.
I
like an
left
asshole.
his oh shit at the beginning of the
course.
audio.
Yeah,
the kind of stuff I do too.
yeah, it's an assoe.
So when,
passive aggressive.
when everyone downloaded, all of a sudden you hear Ace going, "Oh shit!" Bam, bam, bam.
The beauty of
We
being
never
in
know
control,
what Jay is recording.
Yeah. The beauty of being in control of the audio is I can make myself sound way better and them sound way worse, and I do it. all the
Thank
fucking
you.
time.
Well, you would think
Thank
that
you.
you would think that Scott would edit, but again, you will literally hear episodes where a guest will say, "Oh, you'll edit that out, right?" And I'll go, "No,
really?
you won't edit that out. You'll hear this entire conversation, including me saying what I'm saying now, and it'll keep going."
And the sad part is that shows how much he pays attention because I make him look good all the time.
Oh, bullshit.
And he doesn't even fucking know it.
You don't
Hey,
listen,
man.
you don't edit
When you-
shit.
hey, Ace, when you were out of the room, he was talking you up.
It
Oh,
was.
I'm sure. Yeah,
He really
whatever.
was.
No, he
I
really
actually-
was.
I did. I talked
was.
about that time when you went up and Rhonda and I are in the back room
Oh,
hoping
yeah.
you bombed, and you actually pulled that shit off, and we were actually disappointed that
Because
you
I'm
did
a
well.
professional, my friend. I'm a professional.
And we're like, son of a bitch, he actually did it.
No, but he also didn't tell you. He also didn't share the helmet story, so which I'm fine with. Don't share it.
Come on.
Yeah.
No, not on this. You can
well,
share
let-
it after we get off the air.
if
We'll
you
tell
guys,
you the helmet
if you guys
story.
stick around when we wrap up, we
Yeah.
have to tell you that story.
Oh yeah.
All right,
That's gonna
fair
happen.
enough.
Well, listen. Hopefully, you guys got enough. Hopefully, got enough content about Woodstock '99 for your episode.
And all the women Ace had sex with and the fires he started.
Yep.
Hush. Hush.
His tent was like a harem all weekend long.
I wish. Honestly, I wish. Anyway,
Turns out he just left the fucking sterno burning when they left. Forgot about it.
and that's what fucking caught those
I
trucks
blamed
up.
on the
No,
Chili Peppers and Packs giving them 100,000.
Actually-
who thought that was a good idea? By the way, here's some fucking candles.
I know.
Yeah.
It's peace and love, peace
It's
and
for when
love.
they
Let's
play
burn
Under
the
the
fucking
Bridge.
place down.
But they're gonna sing "Fire" first by
You know what's-
by
Yeah, by Jimi Hendrix,
Jimi
right?
Hendrix.
No, you know what's actually interesting, and we didn't get to talk about it before, but one of the things that was crazy was on Saturday night, my ex and I, we were at the back of the field because we saw too much crazy shit going on, like date rapes and shit like that going on at the front. So we went to the back.
Now
of
you're
the,
complaining about it.
well, I was monogamous at the time, but we went to the back of the field, and there were all of these like tractor trailer trucks that were like storage for the food, and they were all at the back of the field, so we couldn't see the stage very well. So we climbed up onto the back of the trailers, and we were watching the show from on top of the tractor trailers. Well, when we got home and we were watching, we turned on MTV and we see all this shit on fire. We're like, holy shit, those are the trailers we were sitting on last night. Wow. Like it was,
Nuts.
that was the most surreal experience I've ever had in my life, to see somewhere I was on the night before
On fire?
completely on fire and burning the
Jeez.
day after. That was the craziest thing. And then and I honestly, I turned to my ex and I was like, I'm so glad. I know this sounds like I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm so glad you had sun poisoning and forced us to leave.
Yeah.
Because
I wonder why she's your ex.
It was the best decision we ever made. No, honestly, I talked to her.
Can you come on every week?
I know. Yeah. Just be the slide
third
whistle
chair?
guy. Yes.
Can you be our third chair?
Yeah, please. You guys record on Sundays. We record on Wednesdays. Kevin, you're invited anytime you want to bring that slide whistle.
Oh my God, that is the greatest thing ever.
No, but honestly, I talked to my ex after the documentary came out, and I was like, "Can you fucking believe that? Like, we were literally sitting on those tractor trailer trucks the night before they were bursting into flames." I'm so glad we left when we did, because as much as I was like, oh shit, we're going to miss Godsmack, in hindsight, it was the best thing that could have happened. I don't know what we would have done in the middle of all that craziness.
Or what you could have done.
You got the best of both worlds. Like, you got to go, you got to see some cool shit, and you got the hell out of there before things went
before things went sideways. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So I mean,
and you got a hell of a story to tell.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah.
So,
and I tell my kids, because now my kids, my kids are 19, 17, and 15. Hey. And I think my 19-year-old watched the documentary, and I was like, yeah, me and Mom were there. Like, we were those people leaving on Sunday morning because it was so fucking crazy. And she's like, oh my God, I can't imagine. And she's old enough to go to music festivals and stuff. And it's not like that now.
Here. Look at this.
See that patch of tents?
She was born in 2003. It was
see that patch of tents?
It was 4 years later.
That's where you were made.
Wow, that was a long pregnancy.
We're on Tarmac 5 over here.
We almost named you Tarmac 5, but we said no.
Why do you ask Hangar 6?
Yeah, exactly.
We call this one Burger King bathroom.
Yeah. Hey, that's my son. Calm down.
Oh, God damn it.
Go get your brother porta potty.
Right. Okay, I gotta highlight Jay's little comment there. Go ahead.
What did he say?
Oh, I said when Fred Durst said break stuff, we didn't know he meant the condom.
Yes.
See?
Nice.
Yes.
That's the tough thing with these podcasts where we have a lot of people on, because that was like Kevin's mention of
grape soda.
Grape soda. That was a fucking genius thing.
Grape soda and breaking condoms.
Yep.
Maybe that's what we should name this episode. Grape soda and breaking condoms. Oh man.
But it's wonderful for us who do the podcast, because like people are like, oh, you listen to your own podcast? Is that vanity? I'm like, no, I fucking have to listen to it.
Yeah, plus, you want to make sure that it sounds good and it's entertaining to people.
And I catch stuff these guys say that I didn't fucking hear during the show.
Right.
And
all the time.
Everything in the world.
Well,
like,
he didn't.
Makes it so much fun.
When we asked Tyler, are there any challenges you deal with in comedy? And I said, besides stairs, he didn't hear it the first time. He heard it on the replay. And he was like, dude, did you really fucking say that?
I'm editing and I hear it and I paused it. And I laugh for like 20 minutes and I call him. I go, dude, did you honestly say besides stairs?
Couldn't hear it
to him.
Couldn't help it.
It's the gift that keeps on giving.
A guy that can't walk, and you said besides stairs.
But again, we're all friends. We're all comics.
Yeah,
we can all bust each other's balls, and Tyler got it, and he was really, he loved it. He loved it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's a reason Matt doesn't let his family listen to our show.
Yeah,
he talks about his dad all the time. He does.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my dad's a double amputee.
Oh shit!
And we're like,
it gets brought up on the show occasionally
by Matt.
Is that why he named you Matt? Is his name Bob?
My stepdad's name is Bob, actually.
Oh my God!
Yeah, you talk shit about him too.
No, I don't.
Yeah,
that's the best.
Yeah,
his dad hangs on. His dad hangs on the wall. His name is Art.
His name is Art. Yeah.
That's brutal.
That's true. So my biological father is a double amputee. My stepfather is deaf. So
man,
got both
about
sides
him on the show too.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What? Hold on. I didn't hear that.
No, we've got a good friend here in Rhode Island who's a deaf comic. He's been on the show a bunch of times, and we bust his balls all the time too.
Yeah. Well, he comes in on the podcast and he puts the headphones on. We're like, seriously?
He goes, "Why am I even wearing these things? I can't hear shit." No, man. Listen, we love you guys. We love.
Thank you so
having
much for coming on. We appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Yeah,
No, absolutely.
Back at you. We really try to, when we discover podcasts that we like, we really try to pimp them out on the show a lot, and we
Same here. Same here.
we hope that you guys get some attention from it.
and you guys are ending up on our YouTube channel on the Friends of the Show segment that we do. So
Awesome. Thank you.
We appreciate it.
that's why I need that logo from you.
All right, we'll make sure we send it to you.
Yeah, definitely.
But we anytime you guys want to come on, we do a lot of times we'll do panel shows where we'll talk like about a movie or something like that. Like we've talked about, we did one panel show on Steve Martin, which turned into an entire show on The Jerk.
Nice.
You know,
we overanalyzed that movie.
We
man.
overanalyzed that.
Such a great movie. So yeah, if you guys ever get into a comedy movies of the time frame, we're all in with that type of stuff. We'd love to do stuff like that. So or any of the sketch shows like Saturday Night Live, anything like that.
Yeah.
We love getting into the nitty gritty about that type of stuff. So
we talked about a 2-part retrospective on Mel Brooks. So
I just
talked about that.
I just read his memoir. And I reached out to him, and I know it's not him that runs his Facebook page and stuff. It's his son. But that's on our vision board. That would be my dream guest. Is to get him on. Max, yeah.
Ace and I talk.
Get two.
Ace and I talk about it all the time. What the hell? Just reach out to some of these people.
You never know.
What's the worst that's going to happen? You just don't hear anything, but you might.
Right.
Steve Martin has been a hero of both of ours forever.
Yep.
Love the guy. I just got tickets to see him and Martin Short in May when they come up here. I took his master class online when he did a master class on stand-up. Yep. I had his albums when his albums came out. I love the guy. I reached out to him. What the hell? If the guy if his publicist, I should say, answers, great. But if not, I'm not out anything.
No big deal.
Who cares?
Yeah.
But it's worth a shot.
And you guys have probably found the same thing with your podcast is you reach out to people and you're like, I don't think the lead singer of Toad the Wet Sprocket's going to reach back out to us. And then all of a sudden they reach back out. You're like, holy shit. Like they actually will talk to us. It can't hurt to ask, and that's what we're finding is it can't hurt to ask.
Well, Jay, let them know
when you guys asked us,
about Jim.
You weren't sure. You guys were like, we don't know if those guys from the mixtape are willing to come on our show or not. We don't.
Right, exactly.
Dude, that was number one on our vision board.
That was.
Yeah. That was number one on our vision board. We had mixed
with pointing to us. Yeah.
We had mixtape podcast, Steve Martin,
Bobcat Goldthwait.
Bobcat Goldthwait.
Yeah, exactly. And you guys were the top ones.
The resurrected corpse of Bill Cosby's career. Sorry, Kevin.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You put the pill in the drink.
Oh, no. And there's nothing better than Spanish Fly. I was at 99 Woodstock.
Yes, I was there.
I came in like Sasquatch. And I went out. If she can't talk, she can't say no.
That's right.
Oh, God.
That's right. Have a drink. No, it was seriously fun. It was so cool getting to meet you guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
I knew this was going to be a fun hang, and that's what we want on our podcast is just a fun hang with people that we like, that we have a fun time with. and hopefully, this was fun for you guys as well. And
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
anytime you guys want to come on, if we do a panel show, we'll reach out to you, let you know, especially if it's 80s and 90s panel show.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I think we definitely need to reach out.
Definitely.
Yeah. So listen, folks, for those that are listening, you got to check out the Mixtape Podcast. Now, I will say, I don't know who's in charge of your meta tags, but if you put the Mixtape Podcast in on Apple Podcast, there's like 15,000 like urban mixtape podcasts that come up. So is there a better way to find you guys?
Yeah. We have a link tree that is on our website at themixtapepod.com.
Okay.
And you can go click on that, and it'll take you to all of our social medias, takes you to all audio platforms that we're on. We got set up with Anchor, and that's been great. So
the mixtapepod.com.
And
mixtapepod.com.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I'll put that.
Our show is actually 2 words too. We are a mixtape, not a mixtape.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So maybe that's why I've been getting all these other podcasts with like.
Hence the cassette tape.
Oh,
right.
Kind of a separator.
That's
It's just
the dash.
separated.
But I'll put the link to the website in the show notes for any of our listeners that are checking this out.
Now, is that going to be Ace that puts that in there, since you're saying that it's going to be there?
No, that'll be actually.
No,
Scott. That's the
I
one
will
thing
put it
he
in
does
there.
do is he puts stuff in the show notes. I book the guests. I
do a lot of things wrong, but I get the links in correctly.
Yes.
That I can say.
No, that's me busting Jay's balls right there, because I'm always the one going, the link will be in the show notes. I have nothing to do
I've
with
heard
the
you
show
guys
notes.
talk about that. Yeah, yeah.
So
and it's always Matt that puts the stuff in the show notes. No,
so definitely check
Scott
out the
does.
show
No.
notes.
Nope.
And
It's that guy, right?
Yeah, it's Jason who puts the notes.
Oh, all right. Okay.
I will say
I'm
this
just the
too,
one who says he's going to do it.
I do the show notes, and so they suck. However, you guys are always in our show. There's a link to you guys in our show notes. So
We appreciate it, man.
So
we really do.
There's a link to these guys on our website too. So go over there. We got a friends of the show page, and you can click on it. It'll take you right to these guys, so you can go over and check them out there as well. So.
We
Awesome.
appreciate
And
it.
since you guys are at your house, if you go on our website, there is also a recipe that we refer to every once in a while on our
Pastry
website.
crack.
Pastry
Pastry
crack.
crack. It'll give you the diabetes, but it'll be
Yeah.
worth it.
You'll
Oh,
lose
all
at
right.
least one of your legs,
Nice.
like my dad did.
That's awesome.
Oh, and what better way to wrap it up than that?
That's it. That's it. We can't even top that. No.
Yeah,
really
you
appreciate-
can't top it because you can't run away from it because you have no legs.
Because you have no legs.
there you go.
Exactly.
That's perfect. That's
So before
perfect.
we wrap this up, I got to try to have you guys come in on one of these, and we all know that we fuck this up on this show. Every
Oh,
single
God,
week
yeah.
when we try it.
Prepare.
We would love to go out so we can put this up on ours with us saying what we say every single week when we close our show out. So if you guys don't know our tagline, we just want you to say "stay awesome" when we say it. Now, if you've listened to our show, what you know is we never get it fucking right.
No,
We're gonna hope
We
do
try
tonight.
every time. Yeah.
So what we're going to say is to all you out there listening to the show, we appreciate it. And remember, until next we speak, to always
Stay awesome.
That was actually probably the best one.
Yeah, it's weird. We got it.
We're professionals.
Perfect.
Yeah. See, and he changes that every time too. It's never just until we meet again. Stay awesome. It's never
No,
like
we
the
did
same
it.
every time. He draws it out, and you kind of have to listen for the
Well,
audio context clues and then go.
But we all
You-
did it
you're
the right
working-
way.
you-
We said stay awesome, all 5 of us. That's
You're
awesome.
working with professional stage performers.
Yeah,
so,
we're kind of
Yeah.
know what
We're just
doing.
jackasses with microphones.
I didn't want to say that out loud.
No, I love the fact that Kevin has been a wagging tail cat
the whole time.
for 2 fucking hours.
It's fantastic.
I wanted to see what he looked like. I was so dying.
No, I don't. I
okay,
don't.
all right.
I want to think of Kevin
Well,
as
maybe-
a cat with a wagging tail.
No.
Forever.
When we go, No, when we go offline, I want to see everyone on the stream. So
all right, so folks,
listen, folks,
check out the show notes. I will have the link to their website so you can check them out.
Yes.
As you guys know, everybody that's been following us and listening to us, we don't have a lot of guests from other podcasts.
Yeah.
We haven't promoted a lot of podcasts, so we really like this one. We've mentioned them a ton for the last few months. It is a podcast that is a lot of fun. It is my go-to when I'm on the road going to and from gigs.
Same. Yeah, same here.
I love listening to these guys. It makes the ride so much fun. So definitely check them out. It is worth a listen.
And stay tuned for Jason and I's Beavis and Butthead podcast that we're going to do together.
Welcome to our podcast, stupid.
Shut up, stupid. We're going to do
it's a stupid podcast. Yeah, stupid.
Frog Baseball, the podcast.
So that'll be coming up soon. But
listen, folks, we hope you guys enjoyed the show. As we say at every beginning of every episode, if you enjoy the podcast, tell a friend about us. Give us a 5-star written review. We really appreciate it. For those who may not know this, because I didn't get to say it at the beginning of the show, believe it or not, I wrote a children's book, and it is out on Amazon.
Yes, congratulations to my co-host.
Thank you, buddy.
Finally, he's been working on this for a while. It looks fantastic. Maddie Loses a Tooth is available on Amazon, and that will also be in the show notes. Get it in time for Christmas. If you have a young child, it is a fantastic book for a young child. They're going to love it.
Yeah, it really it teaches children empowerment to find information on their own. There is a message besides me being just a fucking jackass on a podcast.
No, it actually is he did a great job with this.
Thanks, man. Thanks. I appreciate it. And other than that, we will talk to you
next week.